The next step is to figure out where we're gonna put the power portion of this installation. We got a couple amplifiers and an amplifier DSP, and we need to find some place in here to put them. But like always, the first thing we need to do is kind of like get the stuff out of the boxes and see what we have, what we're dealing with. Let's head over to the workbench, and we'll see what we have. Power up the subwoofer, we have the Ground Zero Hydrogen Series GZHA Mini 1K. We have a 1200 watt 1 ohm stable with a bass knob amplifier. In the box we have the owner's manual, kind of breaks down all the specifications for the amplifier. Is a mono class D amplifier. It's 340 watts at 4 ohm, 600 watts at 2 ohm, 1000 watts at 1 ohm. This is the CEA 2006 A standard. Dampening factor is greater than 100. Low pass crossover is 30 to 250, 24 dB per octave. It has a high pass or subsonic that is 10 to 50. Bass boost 0 to 12 dB at 45 hertz. Frequency range of the amplifier is 10 to 250 hertz. Input sensitivity is 300 millivolts to 6 volts. Remote bass knob is included, and it has 3 35 amp fuses. Let's open this thing up and take a look. It is a fairly skinny amplifier. It is 5.32 inches across. It's 2.05 inches tall, and it is 12.68 inches long. It comes with a high level to low level adapter, little rubber feet for the bottom of the amplifier, screws, washers, Allen keys, and some extra fuses, 3 to be specific. We have the bass knob cable, and then located on the other side is the bass knob, and it looks like it does come apart. We'll look more at the bass knob later once we get to that. Looking at the side of the amplifier, we have line in, line out. This RCA is for the link mode, so that when you run 2 of these together, kind of a master slave. Subsonic filter, low pass, level or gain, bass boost, 0 to 180 degree phase switch, and of course slave versus master switch for the output here. On the opposite end, 4 gauge, a 12 gauge speaker output and a remote turn on. There's those 335 amp fuses. Our LEDs are located here. The nice thing about these outputs is they are straight wire outputs. They're not angled down. This is the sub amp for the system. Next up is the GZHA Mini 2 2-channel amplifier. This has a max power of 550 watts at 2 ohms. And there again, this also includes a bass knob. It's a 2-channel amplifier, but it can be used as a mono amp. It has instructions. Back page here is telling us is a 2-channel class D amplifier. CEA 2006 A rating is 2x130 at 4 ohms and 2x230 at 2 ohms. We're going to be at 3 ohms, so we'll be somewhere between there. You can bridge the amplifier and get the 550 watts. Dampening factor is the same as the previous. Low pass filter is 40 to 4000 hertz. High pass filter is 10 to 500 hertz. And there's an option for a band pass crossover. We have no bass boost on this particular amplifier. Frequency response is 5 hertz to 38,000 hertz. Input sensitivity is there again, 300 millivolts to 6 volts. It has 1 30 amp fuse. Let's take a look at it. Now this amplifier is going to be to power the mid bass and the doors only. It has that same bag of parts as the previous amplifier. Bass knob is the same. This guy is also pretty tiny. The size of the amplifier is going to be 8.27 inches long, 2.05 inches thick, just like the previous amplifier, and 5.32 inches in width. These two amplifiers are in the same series, so they are the same size. Looking at the side of the amplifier, your high level input, your RCA input, it has a pass-through RC output, gain control, high pass filter, low pass filter, full range, high pass, or band pass. The reason why it doesn't says low pass is you can use the band pass as the low pass filter and use it as a subsonic filter and a low pass filter. On the opposite side, 4 gauge power inputs, that 30 amp fuse, dual 12 gauge outputs, and your power and protect lights are here. And lastly, we have the Ground Zero GZ DSP 4.80 amp. This is a 4-channel amplifier with integrated DSP, max power of 700 watts at 2 ohm stable, aux and Toshlink in. This guy is going to be to power our tweeters and rear speakers, as well as the RC outputs are going to be to feed those other amplifiers. Inside the box is the owner's manual. Comes with a disc. This is going to be for a Windows machine only. User manual and DSP software. Hopefully we can just download this from the internet. The English version of the owner's manual. It's a 4-channel amplifier with integrated 8-channel signal processors, high efficiency 2 ohm stable class D amplifiers, 6-channel line input RCA, 6-channel high level input with auto turn on function. It has a 3.5 millimeter aux input. It has a Toshlink input with a sample rate of 24 bits, 96 kilohertz. Plug-in for optional interface, wireless music streaming, 4-channel line RC outputs, memory for 10 user presets, and of course it has the adjustable high pass crossover, low pass crossover, and all the DSP functions built into it. Let's just take a look at it, shall we? We get a bag with some screws and an Allen keys. It comes with a remote turn-on relay box, but it's also a delay for the amplifier. So whether you're doing it high level or low level from a radio, if there's any type of turn-off pop from the head unit or when the car turns off, you can add this in and it'll add a delay to that subwoofer amplifier so that you don't have that issue. You only need to install it if you have the issue. If you don't, then you just set it aside and save it for later. You have your RCAs, the USB cable for programming, high level input. Take a look at the side of the amplifier. 4-gauge input, gold plated, 2 30-amp fuses, power and protect light, and then our 4-channel output is located here. 12-gauge output, gold plated. Flipping around the amplifier, the optical input, the optional remote controller, our 6-channel input. This is in fact our 6-channel high level input. We will be using that. PC link line output, which are these RCAs here. Optional Bluetooth box, our auxiliary input, and a Bluetooth USB switch. Size of the unit is 7.28 inches by 8.46 by 1.77 thick. When compared to the other amplifiers, this is what we're going to be going with. The first thing I want to do is get these covered in blue tape because we're going to be moving them around throughout the car, try to figure out what's going into them. We're in the truck. We've toyed with several different ideas as far as how we want to arrange these amplifiers. These have to be on display where people can see them. We're not going to go underneath the seats, even though they'd fit fine underneath the seats. There's actually a lot of room underneath the seats in this car. The next thought was to put them where you guys are sitting right now, the back seat area. Not attached to the back seat, but making a board that goes from top to bottom and have everything there on display. That's not a bad idea. It would give us plenty of room for wiring, and it would look nice. You'd have to have the seats folded down in order to see them. That left either the top here, which there is a decent amount of room, but we wouldn't be able to see the equipment if we put it there, and the side panels. The side panels are actually 2 different side panels because there's a gas tank on that side, which limits the room that we have, but there isn't one on this side, which there's tons of room on this side. The DSP is a different size than the amplifiers, which because of that, by separating the two, will lessen that impact on my psyche. But we have this big area here, which would be perfect for the sub amp. That'll go right here. And we have this small area here, which would be good for the 2-channel. The plan now is to blue tape off this area to make us a template on both sides. We're gonna peel that tape off and transfer that onto a piece of plastic so that we can then make our 2 mounts, get them over on the bench and wire them up. We're a long way from that point though. What I mean by blue tape is just like we blue tape these amplifiers up, we're gonna do the same in this area. We're gonna take blue tape and we're gonna line this whole area up, just like if we were gonna make a fiberglass mold of this, but we want it to be as close as possible to the shape that we're going for in the end, because then we're gonna peel that tape off and stick that onto our piece of plastic so that we have the exact shape that we're looking for. Sounds like fun. Sounds like a lot of blue tape, really. Let's get started. And there we go. I'll peel this off, put on a piece of plastic, but I need to cut the piece of plastic first, so I need to take my height and my maximum width. And now all we have to do is cut out along here and we'll have the shape that we need for our amp board. Now just in case it moves, I am going to hit it with a silver Sharpie. For this I'm just going to use a simple jigsaw. With the basic shape cut out, we can peel our tape off. Now there is going to be some refining that we're going to have to do because tape is flexible and will bend just a little bit. Well, let's find out what. Actually, I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. There's a hard corner here that I want to do away with just so that it matches the car just a little better. There's also a spot here, but otherwise it's pretty much perfect. I'm gonna add a round over to the whole thing, then we'll get the amplifiers mounted to it and figure out how we're gonna attach it in place so that it doesn't move. I screwed the amplifiers on and also added in some spacers so that we'll have adequate breathing. Now I want to test fit it back in the car and see. I'm hoping that I'll be able to put some screws in this area here to hold it into place. There are 2 cross braces that pass behind these, so I'm hoping to put 2 main ones here and then we'll put other ones in the corners to keep it nice and tight in place. This is what we end up with on this side here. There is 2 braces behind this. I'm just gonna use a long screw to go through and mark here and on the other side where it needs to be. Then we'll pull them out, we'll drill the holes bigger. We'll put nut certs in those places to hold them in permanently. This is a great way just to get through and mark my locations. I'll have to add something up to this top here, which is planning on doing anyways. That's marked, I have those. We'll wait to drill the holes. We're gonna pull the whole side panels out because we have to figure out where all the wiring is gonna go, but I just wanted to get this mocked up for right now. So we have those 2 amplifiers in. Wanna make sure that this clears, which it does. Now all I have to do is do the same exact process, just do it on the other side. Yay.